Students, this question was asked in NEET 1997 from the chapter System Particles and Rotational Motion. The center of mass of a system of particles does not depend upon position of the particles, relative distance between the particles, masses of the particles, forces acting on the particles. Students, if suppose there are two particles only, and suppose there are masses are m1 and m2 and the distances from the origin is x1 and x2, then we know the formula of the distance of the center of mass from the origin becomes x is equal to x center mass is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 upon m1 plus m2. If there are three particle students, m1, m2 and m3, and their distances from the origin is x1, x2 and x3, then what will be the formula for the distance of the center of mass from the origin? Then it becomes m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 by m1 plus m2 plus m3 and so on. Okay, if there are n particles students in the system, then the distance of the center of mass from the origin becomes m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus this way plus mn xn upon m1 plus m2 plus mn. So you see students, the center of mass depends upon the masses of the particles. Okay, so it does not depend upon the masses of the particles is incorrect. Okay student, this depends upon the masses. Also it is very clear that this depends upon the position of the particles, the position vectors x1, x2, etc. And these are also related to each other. x1, x2 and x3 and xn all are related to each other. Okay student, then that's why the center of mass also depends upon the relative distance between the particles, but it does not depend the forces acting on the particles. Why? Because the resultant forces acting on the particles, that is F is equal to F1 plus F2 plus F3, the resultant of all the forces, what is its value? Its value is 0. The resultant of all the forces acting upon the system particles is 0. That's why the center of mass does not depend upon the forces acting on the particles students. So, which one is correct option? That is option B is correct students for this question.